Welcome to Peacemaker Talks, where we're practicing peace to make it. And this is thank you, America First Warehouse, for always covering me with your goodness and your grace and allowing me this space. And this is not my knitting job, but I have my security blanket here with me because this is new to me. And I love doing new things, so thank you for joining me. And what else is new? Wow. Bridges and flowers, right? I keep changing it. Power plants. Sorry. When I say plants, my brain automatically goes to flowers. Power plants. And of course, for most, in this time that we're in what is transpiring on this Tuesday, has a much larger impact when you say power plant and bridges. God works in mysterious ways, but we do know that there is a pattern we can follow in order to stay aligned with His peace. It's funny because in what comes to mind is that Psalm 22. There's when you speak about peace, people right away kind of almost get angry right now because of the fact that how can you speak about peace? Peace isn't happening. We're at war, and why are we at war? Wait. So if you read Psalm 22, I tell you, it's better to be hearing words of we are on the road to peace, we are seeking peace, we have a board of peace, and then have the honesty of how we are defending that peace. So if you read Psalm 22, you get hit with, I guess, the politicians we've had in the past. And the politicians we've had in the past, well, they spoke peace, but in their hearts, they were designing something else. So their words were like butter. Right now, when we faced power plants and bridges, there's no buttery words. It's quite straightforward. And it really is speaking upon things that I don't have insider information on, thankfully. I don't know. I don't know where my help will come from, but I do know that help is coming. And I know that God answers prayers. And when you align that with what's happening in the world today, I see help. I have experienced help. And that gives me the strength and the courage to sit at the assembly and speak upon it. Because, well, let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back. Let's take it real back. Let's go back to Easter. We just passed Easter. And this is something we're all going to be able to understand. My experience is going to be different from your experience. If you're a peacemaker, if you're in line with God's peace, this is going to make sense to you in your own way, right? But it's a personal experience that I'm going to speak on, and that is the Stations of the Cross. This Easter, when I was doing the Stations of the Cross, something struck me this year that I almost forgot was there. And I actually had to brief myself beforehand as to which station I'm referring to, and that's Station 8. And that is the women of Jerusalem meet with Jesus. Now, if you're following what's going on in Iran, and if you go back to what is that? 2,000 years ago, right? The story that I'm referring to, which is the Stations of the Cross, the life of Jesus Christ, the end, the end, well, the beginning or the end, it depends which way you're looking at it, where your belief is. So it was the end of his earthly mission, and then he was able to usher in his divine, enduring love mission, which is what saves us and is where we put our hope, where we get our salvation from. So at the time when he was walking that very, the Passion, the women of Jerusalem came up to him. And you're dealing with a time when women really were not given any, okay, so bring it to Iran. There you go. What President Trump, what he spoke the other day about the women of Iran, the women of Iran, that when they went out to protest, what happened to them? I personally have to, again, stay on my personal vision and keep my focus on Christ. So I'll leave you to do your homework if you don't understand what I'm speaking about. And when I heard President Trump speak about that, the woman of, I keep saying Jerusalem, but of Iran, which, again, what is that other Bible quote? How things never really, nothing's new under the sun. So when you speak of what happened the other day, when President Trump was referring to the woman of Iran, what struck me was Ashley Babbitt. So I understand. Some of us women, let's just say, were kind of a little bit more savvy as to what it was that we were up against at that time. Now, those who could not see it, or did not see it, or cannot, maybe still don't see it, might say, oh, you didn't know. How could you know? How would you know? Well, if you study history, if you listen and believe what people say, like take them like in other words, if they're telling you what their plan is straight out, and you respect that plan in the sense of, I'm not going to say, oh, you're just, let's define it better, what I'm trying to say. So when what Ashley Babbitt and other women what we were standing for on January 6th was peaceful. We were peaceful. We were peaceful. Yeah, it's really not nice to hear a woman have to yell. It's not something that ever is a position I ever want to be put in or be forced into or framed to. And I know that there is a time, though, that you do have to raise your voice and assert yourself. And that was the time and the place in that manner. Now, to compare Ashley Babbitt to the woman of Iran, I think it is comparable to the degree that Ashley Babbitt was shot. With no pre-warning. If you say, oh, she was jumping through the window, what do you think she was going to do after she got through the window? Maybe she was like me. I wanted to kind of get past the police. It looked less chaotic on the other side. I kind of trusted people at that time. I had a trust to a degree. But what happened to her, of course, was criminal, and to me is still needs investigation. So that's what my hope is, as far as now that Iran is being dealt with, because that obviously is a concern. I really do pray that President Trump now brings his focus here, because the enemy has gotten in the gate. So what you're seeing in Iran, we know for a fact that there were people within our government that were working towards the destruction of our country. It is narrowed down. And a lot of people say you can't speak ill on one religion, or you can't speak ill upon a certain group. And I agree with that to a degree, because you have to look at people as individuals. As Christians, we look at a person as an individual, not as groups. We don't put a group together. But when they group themselves and they all act in a certain manner and say a certain thing, like in Islam, they say it. They say it. They say what their intentions are. And that it goes against the Christian nation of free speech without being martyred, as Ashley Babbitt, in a sense. I don't know if. So I'm gonna leave this. This is the Stations of the Cross, number 8. The woman. I have faith. I have faith that God is doing a great work here in America, and I have a discussion coming up. I'm gonna be a little bit more. Explain what it means more so on the next segment. But we got Stacey Hagar, for January 6th, the man who also went through the persecutions, and he sees it as well. So come back and catch Stacey and Hagar, a January 6er. I interviewed him, and we're going to be back and speak great things.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just 2 entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see.
welcome back to Peacemaker Talks. Hey, I want to bring up something that I'm really excited about here at the Wire House. We've got Tommy Robinson. Have you been following his work? Now, there's a man that, again, I feel trust when I see men speaking out the way that Tommy Robinson does. That gives my heart. I see the peace. I see peace coming, and peace through strength. And here's another man. I'm going to be unveiling for you a video of Stacey Hagar. Now, Stacey was a January 6th defendant. In the video, he's going to describe a little bit. Now, I patched together this video. It was 3 hours long, but I tried to patch it together for you guys. I hope it does him justice. It does and explains what it was that this was prior to our going to the reunion for January 6th, just this past, and where they laid flowers down for Ashley Babbitt at the Capitol. And it was the reunion on January 6th. So here we go. Let's see.
I'm not in it alone. We'll be all meeting on the 6th, so I want to kind of connect better to have a better understanding, and I guess that's what's driving me to do this. But above all, what's driving me to do this is to speak up for God.
Was there any kind of event, like something happened to you, like what happened to me and a lot of other people, where God came to us and told us to go?
If you add up why I went and compare it to what God calls us to do, it came externally from what God is, what He asks us to do. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that He didn't actually come and talk to me, but we walked, and we communicated. I didn't hear His voice, but we communicated. I don't think I could understand His language, you know? So He made it simple for me. I knew what He was trying to show me at the great gathering of people was, and my friend and I have been talking about it since before Thanksgiving, about going, routine of calling each other on big holidays, because we were without each other's friendship for 20 years, while he was building and growing his family, and I was doing the same. And Facebook brought us back together.
Okay.
So once we got back together, we were just as inseparable after that as we were before. But when he moved away, there was no internet, there were no cell phones, you know. So we lost track of each other for 20 years. Christmas, when he called, I said, you know, I don't think so, bud, but I will think about it and I'll talk to you next year. So it's a week away on the 1st. Didn't drink, didn't do anything, and God saw fit to come see me that morning around between 7 and 8. And He showed me, like I said, we didn't talk. I knew what it was, because as soon as He came on the scene, it was nothing but love. I thought I knew what love was until I had that dream. And there was no question. It was God. You know,
Wow.
He showed me the great gathering of people, and at the end of it, where everyone's wheels were shared that day. I mean, you could tell it in the songs we were singing and the prayers we were having. Everybody had the same thing on their mind, and it wasn't insurrection or riot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a beautiful, beautiful experience to be a part of. The words that He wanted me to take away from that dream was 2 words: And he showed them to me on a board like Vanna White turned. You know, the letters on it. Said, go, capital G, small o, comma. Witness. Big W, rest of the consonants were small. The letters were small. And after that dream, I was on fire. Wild horses couldn't keep me away. I called. I didn't wait for Jeff to call. I called him. Said, we're going. And then we went.
So the enrichment of love that God sent you, it opens our minds to a better way of living. And right, it's like, wait a minute, we want to show up, we want to live better. These people who say that are elected, and these people are representing us, like there's nothing about them that they represent that is like me. I believe these people in Congress are stealing. They're committing crimes against humanity. Like, they don't represent me.
Nothing about those people that has anything to do with my world, you know?
Yeah. But your world has God's love in it. Like, he was showing you his love, and in a way, you had to witness that. You had to answer to that love. And by showing up that day, it was revealing his love, right? It was not, you weren't denying his love. Some people say, oh, I didn't want to show up because obviously it was a trap. Well, then you're living in fear. If you allowed them to stop, you know, if that was your choice, was fear over faith, then you've got some love, you know, you got some learning to do.
But after that dream, that wild horses couldn't keep me away from D.C. You know, it didn't matter whether my lifelong friend went or not. I told him on the phone that it doesn't matter whether you go anymore or not. I'm going. You know? And
yeah. I have more respect for those who say, you did the right thing. You know, like, I understand and I'm with you. Those who are with me now and understanding, it shows a heart you can trust more. At least they're not saying like, yeah, I was sitting on my couch drinking a beer. I wasn't going to go to that shit show. Like,
I watched it on TV. Might as well have been there. My opinion really matters.
Yeah.
I just hate hearing people go on about they feel like they were there because they listened to the news and they saw the live reports, so they feel like they were there, but the live reports weren't real because the police were firing at us and we didn't do shit. You know, we didn't do nothing, and we were watching our countrymen and women, a lot of women, because they were attacking women to antagonize the guys into doing things, which happened. And a lot of them went to jail and were in there for 4 years. Some of them didn't get one in particular didn't get a trial. A task force that came after us all over the country, and those were the FBI agents who didn't mind persecuting people for who they voted for. That's what it was. You know, that's what they did to us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People don't even talk about them trying to steal our political opinion from us.
Right.
You know, they act like they're getting subliminals or something that tell them that they're not supposed to be concerned about that or something.
Okay.
Yeah, what American would stand by and let their vote just be taken away? People aren't speaking up. I don't understand it. You know, I stood up. You know, after the 6th, I stood up and went to the 6th because they were stealing my vote, and it was obvious they were stealing my vote.
What they did was such a basic psychology of trying to like make you look like the bad guy for defending yourself, for having self-respect, for saying no to the bully. You know.
What the fuck happened in 2020? That mostly peaceful protests, and they got shit burning in the background.
Right.
We weren't
Right.
burning nothing. We were
Right.
getting fired on though
Right.
because we voted for Trump, and they didn't like that.
You made a good point before too about we weren't there to protest. They keep calling us protest. It's like all these little twists they do. You're right. I wasn't there to protest. That wasn't my intent. They keep trying to make it as
me
if our
neither.
intent. They have to keep trying to switch our intent. That's what they keep trying to do. And they need us to be quiet because once we start speaking,
It messes up their little thing they got.
Right.
And it doesn't work if one of us is out here screaming, "Hey, that was the police firing at me. There's blood all over the risers. Here's pictures of it where they sprayed them with the pepper spray. It's all yellow. And
Right.
in the center, there's this like a guy's chalk outline on the cement. You know, it's all yellow around them and blood here, there, and there. Where the hell do you think that just magically appeared? No. Cops, 7 of them, beat the shit out of somebody with billy clubs after they sprayed them with pepper spray where you couldn't see no more. Yeah.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep, and you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won, it's not about what party, it's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse.
It's me, Joe the Box, and I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
The America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be dissected. And I know that there are channels out there that are, we've been doing it for a while, but it serves to repeat it and to understand what it is, like you said, what we've been through. Betrayal. This is the problem. Like, I don't even know how to talk about it anymore. What is it? Like, I guess just be patient in the Lord, huh? Be patient and waiting still. Like, I feel like my patience was done on January 6, 2021. Like, I was already pretty patient up to that point. I had been, like, literally defending my life from, you're trying to put a mask on me, you're trying to make me take vaccines, you know, COVID test that was made in China. Like, what are we talking, up to that point, what are you trying to teach my son? I'm glad God separated me from these people. Let's put it that way. I don't want to focus on their negativity. Essentially, even through their negativity, I believe I was pretty patient. And that was my final straw politically, even on the local level. There was no one to turn to say, hey, the election was stolen. So when he's saying that, a breath of fresh air, a man who's speaking the truth, he represents me.
Right. Yeah, I felt like he represented me too. He's not one of them. Not on the gravy train that I knew was there. I didn't need Doge to tell me all that was there. Those people they don't become multimillionaires on 100,000 a year. Just doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. No, it's so in our faces, It's so in our face. And President Trump, again, like, he represents me, but he's smarter than me.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I don't think, people say a plan. Well, yeah, I think his plan is to do what's right and to stand up for what's right. That's what I'm seeing in him. And he's just financially, he's smarter than me on how to balance budgets and long-term thinking. Yes. Who can you trust? Who can you trust? And you know what? In the end, it's God. And we just got to keep persisting.
If we ever stop resisting, we see what happens. We were very close to being in concentration camps. If Biden had had his way, I would have been in a concentration camp. I would have been a re-education camp because of my political beliefs. They came after us for our political beliefs. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more un-American than coming after somebody for who they voted for. Nothing is worse in my American vision of America than to come after people for their political beliefs. Even though there are people out there who believe shit in the political spectrum that I wouldn't have nothing to do with. I don't want my name attached to none of it. But they're entitled to their opinion.
Right.
I wasn't entitled to mine. And the courts approved it.
Yeah.
7 months in prison for 4 misdemeanors.
Yeah. And not only that, your misdemeanors, here, this is breaking it down even further. Mens reis, again, it's, I think, a Latin term, I'm pretty sure. I might be pronouncing it incorrectly, is a law term, which means intent. Your intent. So in order to commit a crime, in order to do those what they deemed misdemeanors, you had to have the intent to do those misdemeanors.
They grabbed the guy. They grabbed this guy. The first guy was like, what are they doing? They grabbed him and drug him over the bicycle rack and then drug him back 50 feet behind the line. And then they beat the hell out of him.
I've seen that video, I think.
They emptied a whole can of bear spray or pepper spray, whatever, into his face. So he was laying there blind and covering up. And they were beating him and kicking him.
Or not, it was real what was going on because I recognized what she was doing. It's like I resonated with the feeling she had, and I almost think she probably was jumping through that window to get more help for the 2 cops. I shouldn't call them cops; they were tour guides. Tour guides normally for the Capitol. Talk about undertrained and unprepared. That was by intent. When I see her jump through that window, all I can think is she probably was trying to get help, probably trying to get away from the crazies in the hall, because going back out was a problem. Allowed it in such a way, made it more difficult to go back out. You did feel safer going. I felt safer thinking, let's get further into the building. Law enforcement work is needed. We need to defend the blue. Good. That line has to be drawn from a professional point of view, from having worked on their side, on that side of it. It was breaking so many protocols.
Nothing they did that day is in a training manual. They did the exact opposite of what they should do. They were trying to incite a riot. It wasn't the demonstrators that were rioting. It was the police.
Correct. Absolutely. And then there were people within the crowd for sure. And that's the tricky part. Absolutely no sense. Why would we go down to stop what we were there to encourage?
We were there to defend fair, free elections.
Right.
That's what we were there demonstrating for. I wasn't protesting for fair. I was demonstrating for fair, free elections. I wasn't protesting anything. I wasn't there in any kind of aggressive posture whatsoever. There was nothing but love in that crowd. How do you get 1.5 million people together and nobody even gets into so much as a damn fist fight with each other? You know?
Yeah.
No squabbling, nothing. People were happy. We were happy to be together because we all felt the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we all had the same thing. We wanted them to look at this election that we knew was screwed up.
Yeah.
We knew it. It's a fortress up there. We weren't getting in until they opened the frickin' electronically locked doors from somewhere in the bowels of the Capitol. They pushed a button and they left the electronic doors open.
Right.
And
yeah,
the upper mid door.
Yeah.
The man who opened that door was the chief of Capitol Police, because I witnessed Stephen's son.
It was Stephen's son. How did you find that out? That it was he who did that?
I haven't that rotunda video I sent has him on there. You can steal the video, but I read his name and his position. I didn't remember that until later on. I've seen a picture of this guy giving a testimony before Congress, and I go, I know that guy. That's the guy. And it turns out he's a freaking chief of police. My lawyer, he knew who it was. He knew more than I did. He didn't let on me that's who that was, because he didn't want me to pursue that. As a matter of fact, they brought in an ex-FBI private detective to work on my case. And all he did was take information that I gave them and went back to the FBI with it.
Yeah.
I believe the 2020 election was rigged.
I know it was, yeah.
And if they would look at it like we were trying to get them to do that day, they would have found that out.
Right.
But they didn't do that. What they did was they made it illegal for us to be assembled. They made it illegal for us to express our grievances, and they hung us for our political opinion. They literally hung us for our political opinion.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Get ready to move and celebrate freedom like never before. The America First Warehouse proudly presents Freedom in Motion, America 250. Join Lisa for an electrifying dance fitness fundraiser designed to get your heart pumping and your spirit soaring. This dynamic 6-week session is perfect for all fitness levels, whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your routine. Feel the energy of an epic patriotic playlist. Boost your fitness, learn exciting new moves, and relieve stress while having an absolute blast. All for just $100 per person, and it all supports a great cause. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Come dance, get fit, and celebrate America 250 in motion.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
And it was so well organized on their part, as far as, because like what you were saying, the FBI guy, they hired a guy. It was like they had planned even how they were going to treat us after it. So it wasn't even like, okay, that day they planned, and then they were like figuring out how they were going to use that day. And what troubled me was how the charges that they came up with, the upward terrorism charge, like everything was set up already, these upward terrorism charges, so that they can use this to turn us into terrorists, right?
Yes, steal our vote. So we couldn't ever vote again.
Don't
people got felony charges. And the reason why they did that was so that they couldn't express their political opinion ever again. There's nothing more un-American than what Biden did to us. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something that my court-appointed lawyer told me whenever I first had interaction with him, right? He told me that Nancy Pelosi invited everyone of the area, anyone that might actually get appointed one of our cases, to the Capitol for a day of meetings, a luncheon, and more meetings. And I'm sure it was in how we're gonna. I can't say exactly what it was, because I don't know exactly what it was. He didn't let me in on it, but he did tell me that they had tours and they had meetings. Rich people want to run the world, and they want us to sign up for it. And it's not going to happen with this old guy.
Right. Yeah. They want us to sit down and shut up, right? That's what
they didn't put a gag order on me, but if they had, I would have went to jail for that, because I wasn't going to shut up.
Yeah.
No, God came, I had 3 different dreams.
Yeah. Why would a peaceful woman who her whole life served the community and never was in trouble, why would I suddenly be screaming and twist everything? They'll look back and say, well, you weren't getting along. Yeah, I wasn't getting along because you were trying to mask me. Yeah, I wasn't getting along because you were trying to put a vaccine in me. Like, they refused to take the accountability. I was very patient. And the second stage of patience, now we have to wait for the justice part, right? We got our words out. Now we have to be patient for the...
Well, you know why they did all the stuff they did to us? They had a reason for doing that. And it wasn't just being mean. It's because what happened on the 6th was monumental.
Man messes it up. And the same thing happens within the church system. I think that happened in our government. And that's that the corruption just got so bad that people are either they're afraid to call it out, or they feel it's too big a problem. Like that, or that they make excuses for it. That's the way it is. Oh, it's always been that way. It's
there's a lot of excuses, and you hit the nail on the head with the excuses. People make excuses for everything. They make excuses for why we waded into that turkey shoot atmosphere of the courtyard, where we were in a crossfire and we didn't have an advantage. We didn't even have a weapon.
Right.
But those people were willing to stand there,
right,
in all that stuff. And they caused our hurricane just to stand for fair, free election.
Yeah,
and they were attacking the women right in front of everybody. You know, they weren't bashful about it. They were trying to get the guys to start a riot in the tunnel. The guy who beat Victoria. Is just
again. If that alone happened, forget everything else. That alone, how?
What about beat the unconscious woman?
Lila Morris.
Yeah.
Roseanne Boylan.
Yeah.
Lila Morris beat a dead woman with a stick. Yeah.
So much so that she lost control of her stick.
There's more police at a Macy's Day Parade, Thanksgiving Day Parade, than there were that day. And that's, that's a parade. Because this is God's fight. This is God against the enemy. And really, we just have to allow it to play out. We have to stand up and be present, and see where it leads. I think that's what President Trump does. Like, he leads the way in showing, no, you got to keep persisting in the truth. It's not a matter of manipulating it. It's not a matter of trying to pre-plan how we're going to get these guys. In a way, they're going to get, it'll unfold in a way that, that's what this America is about. We are learning.
I'm having trouble having faith that it's going to unfold the way it's supposed to, because I went to prison for 7 months already. How much more proof? How much more do I need to prove that this is something I care about?
Yeah. No, and I get that, and I hate when people. Did anybody ever compare you to St. Paul?
They tell me, most of the apostles went to prison too.
And what scares and
in the modern age, they went to prison in a free country over our political opinion? Are you fucking kidding me? I personally believe in January 6th. This is what I believe. I can't prove anything. I don't have any special insight, any visions, no dreams, nothing. But what I believe is that January 6th started a movement that's going to take us into 2,000 years of peace. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius. It's supposed to be the age of truth. And I'm thinking that Sixers need to be leading the charge for truth. And we got a really good story. What happened to us is not right. It was more than not right. It was un-American.
Yeah.
We went to DC. Like I said, we strolled right into the heart of the swamp and said, no, this will not do.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a major hold of this government. And what happened on January 6th proved that they're taking all the citizens' power away from them. And hopefully people will see that and they will start taking on their civic duty and start making time to go vote. The simplest thing that you can do as an American citizen that will control and probably better your life forever is go vote. Vote for people that are like you. You don't want to go vote for somebody that doesn't have any of your values, like in what they're doing in New York.
Yeah. Listen, I was trying to vote. I was trying to do all that. They fixed the machine, like these machines are bullcrap, they're fixed, like it's fixed. So it's not even a matter of just voting anymore. It's about how we vote, and that's what's got to change. And
how many years has it been since January 6th? Almost 5, right?
Yeah.
And has anything changed with our voting system?
No.
Anything at all?
No.
Give me one thing that's changed. Are they asking for voter registration now?
Right.
Are they giving you a paper watermark ballot now?
Right.
So that there's some kind of fucking trail?
Right.
For your vote? I mean, I want a trail for my vote. I want to be able to get online and look up my vote if I want to. And verify.
Right.
I definitely want to talk about God, because it's a very, your higher power is a very personal thing.
Yes.
It's a very personal thing. And there's just so much about that I could go on for hours and hours and hours. The church is here. The church is right here. This is the church.
Need to get in touch with Stacy or reach out in any way, it's at info@americafirstwarehouse.com. I want to read John 20:11. Mary Magdalene stayed outside the tomb weeping, and as she wept, she bent over into the tomb and saw 2 angels in white sitting there, one at the head and one at the feet, where the body of Jesus had been. And they said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she said to them, "They have taken my Lord, and I don't know where they laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus there. But she didn't know it was Jesus. She thought it was the gardener. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" And she thought it was the gardener and said, "Sir, if you carried him away, tell me where you laid him, and I will take him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him, "Rabbini," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Stop holding on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father, but go to my brothers and tell them, I am going to the Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord," and then reported and then reported what he had told her. That is Mary Magdalene's witness statement on the rising of Jesus Christ, a woman who first gave the announcement, the beautiful risen announcement, our hope, our salvation, our enduring love, and the reason why we can speak with hope and faith. I want to let you know about two really fun things coming up. Well, one is Mayor Giuliani's birthday party. I worked under Mayor Giuliani. I don't think he knows this. Of course, he doesn't know this. He doesn't know me, but I am going to be at his birthday party, May 30th, 7 p.m. here at the warehouse, and I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to celebrate America's mayor, who also was there on 9/11 and had to deal with that as we just had to face off with evil. And we're still standing, and there's a meet and greet. I want to remind you of Tommy Robinson, another man still standing after the persecution. And we have the good news to give. We have good news because it really is the way that Christ, if we stay aligned to him, please get in touch with your Bible. Let's say a prayer for Natasha Owens. She's going to be writing the 250th anniversary music for that. So let's keep people in prayer that we know who are speaking out and speaking up for the Peacemaker way. And that'll be you too. So I'm praying for you. Whoever's watching, God is with us, and God is very good. So have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in a month from now. Or if you come on down to the warehouse. Bye.
Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity, for the patriots of America.